Still talking about sinusoidal functions. This time we're going to look at the transformations that will cause a reflection. And what's going to be involved in that is when we have a negative coefficient. So here in blue, we have graphed f of x equals the cosine of x. And the red is g of x equals negative 1/5 of cosine of x. Now, like we saw in the dilations a few moments ago, this does affect my amplitude as well. My amplitude here in this first one, the amplitude is equal to 1. We got a maximum of 1. We got a minimum of at negative 1. We got a total from maximum to minimum of 2, which we divide by 2 gives us the amplitude of 1. And if I look from this point here, let's say here on the y-axis to here, well, we've got an amplitude of 1/5. If I were to go into the table, I would see that when x is equal to 0, y is going to be equal to negative 0.2. So it is still compressed vertically relative to the x-axis, but now we've seen it flip over. And we can evidence that flip. If you look at this, here we're up here at the, we're at positive 1 here at the beginning, and now we have moved down. Now another thing too, if you notice, in our parent function, it'll say just focusing right here on the y-axis. From there, we go down to negative 1. And in our transformation, we're starting here at negative 1/5, but then we start up. So it has been both compressed and reflected. It's compressed vertically and reflected across the x-axis. Let's just real briefly look at another one. Here we got f of x equals the sine of x. This is what we see in blue. And g of x is equal to negative 4 times the sine of x. And again, just thinking about our amplitude in the f of x function, where our amplitude is 1. In g of x, our amplitude is 4. But we've also got this reflection that moves it down. Now, let's focus again here at the origin, well, at the origin this time. And in f of x, we see we're going up to 1. This is another evidence of the reflection. And in g of x, our move is we're going down by that factor of 4. So here we are stretched vertically, and we're also reflected. And what causes that reflection? The negative coefficient. The absolute value of that coefficient is what affects our amplitude. All right, well, next we're going to look at horizontal dilations, and this is going to affect the period of a function. Transformations of sinusoidal functions. It's so much fun, I can't hardly stand it.